washed it so it looked nice for you guys. It's all fluffy and pretty. Cubiando. I'm Professor Nyx, here to inform you that due to the chaotic magical energy contained within this video, you may be viewing footage from alternate timelines. Please don't be concerned. The rift has been contained, and we will update you if you need to take further action. And enjoy your video. Well met, Internet! I get all dolled up today to talk to you about what it's like being a babe with body hair. Before we get started, it's time to check my privilege. In case you weren't aware, I am cisgender, white, under 30, and I have a body type that only your most boring friend would call curvy. My journey isn't the same as that of a non-binary femme, a woman of color, or someone with more visible disabilities. It's important that both you and I are aware of these privileges and how they might affect my experience. With that being said, let's begin! It's hard to not act like that when you look like this. I remember being excited to shave my legs. It seems so grown up. Having body hair that was enough of a nuisance that you had to get rid of it. The first time I shaved, I hid in the bathroom, performing my secret ritual of female adulthood. As puberty started to really crank up the juice, I became obsessed with smoothness. When Nair came into my life, I thought I had finally found a solution, but just ended up with gross burns on my pubic mound. Are Nair burns sexier than having pubes? Let me know in the comments. At 18, I started performing burlesque, which only served to heighten my body hair anxiety. It's hard to talk about body issues and burlesque because the movement touts itself as being so body positive. It is, in theory, but the people who book burlesque performers don't live in a separate universe from our own, and if you want to work full-time on big, glamorous stages, it certainly helps to be smooth, pale, and only jiggly in specific areas. I used to joke when I was a stripper that I was actually shaving whenever people weren't looking directly at me. I spent a year in the club shaving every day, constantly concerned that a customer would notice my stubble and I would lose money. At the same time, I was doing nude sets for a pay site and selling photos and videos to private clients. I think it was those combined experiences that solidified in my mind that my value as a person was directly connected to how much I could conform to some version of bonable. And that always included getting my skin to glisten with hairless victory. I felt trapped in my blonde bombshell. And I ended up retiring from burlesque, I thought for good, at the end of 2014. After that, I just kind of let my razor go slowly. The journey to acceptance of my feral femme forest really started with my underarms. Dealing with the razor burn and the microscopic cuts in my sensitive skin just wasn't worth it. It's not like it was more smooth or comfortable anyway. Certainly didn't smell any better. My armpit hair was a slow-growing rebellion against the idea that all I could offer the world was how much I could resemble a silken pie. As much as shaving was a problematic part of my femme identity, not shaving came to be as well. I liked the statement that having armpit hair made. Specifically, I liked the statement that having green armpit hair made, but I have a tendency to fixate, and I ended up building myself a new cage. This time out of feminist strawman arguments. Hooray! 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 Example, recently I wanted to shave my legs for a special occasion. It's been a long time, and I'm fortunate enough to own a gorgeous vintage electric razor that not only doesn't snag my skin, it also makes me feel like Liz Taylor. But I was so bent out of shape about it that I ended up having to go on Instagram Live so relative strangers could reassure me that I wasn't a traitor to the body positivity movement because I wanted to cut the hair on my legs. I couldn't even enjoy using my fancy razor. The ritual of shaving has existed for thousands of years in cultures all over the world. The first shaving tools date as far back as 30,000 BC, and in 2 BC, poet Ovid remarked that women should shave so that no rude goat find his way beneath your arms, and your legs be not stiff with bristling hair. Smooth, unblemished skin has long been associated with godliness and divine femininity. In some cultures, hairlessness even represented a lady's superior class. To deny that shaving was an integral part of hygiene history is silly. It makes perfect sense to shave if lice is a problem in your community, or if you're worried some animal or opponent is going to grab your long hair in combat. Fortunately, these days, regular bathing is more common than a fight with the woolly mammoth. And thanks to modern science, we've learned that shaving your body hair actually increases the likelihood of getting a skin infection. Though the exact occupation of your armpit hair is still unclear, one of the several jobs it's believed to have is pheromone diffuser. It assists in spreading your irresistible musk to potential mates. That makes a lot of sense to me, actually. After I grew out of viewing my armpit hair as a statement, I started to become almost reverent of it. Not in a fetishism way, but in a this thing is naturally a part of me and I love how it makes me look kind of way. Seeing myself with a well-manicured crop of underarm hair makes me feel like a French ballerina from the 1800s. Elegant, graceful, and devoutly femme. The kind of feminine that was cultivated to weaponization by generations of determined damsels in demi-point. Though my armpit hair is no stranger to fetishization because of its visibility, it is part of a woman's body after all. It's therefore inherently sexual. It isn't something that men normally claim as part of their attraction to me. I actually get a lot of messages from well-meaning gentlemen that tell me how hot they think I am in spite of my armpit hair. Thanks, champ. And no, basically no one has ever approached me about it in real life, except for my brief return to burlesque a couple years back when I was performing and regularly showing it off. One time at a show, I feigned licking it at a pinnacle point in the music, and a woman in the audience screamed with such delight that it almost scared me. It was one of my better moments in burlesque. My body hair is beautiful because my body is beautiful, and my body hair happens to be a part of my body. I'm still trying to learn that. It wasn't until this past summer that I finally got the courage to go outside with shorts and unshaved legs, and I still question myself about why it is that I believe that being shaved is more sensual than being unshaved. My shaved skin isn't smoother than my unshaved skin. It's mostly an exposed mess of bumps, bruises, and abrasions. Untangling yourself from the narrative of what society has for what your body should or should not look like is complicated, and it doesn't happen overnight. You can shave your body. You can not shave your body. The point is, it's your body, and only you can decide what you do or do not want to do with it, and why. For me, my body's less marketable aspects are proof that I am a living, breathing member of the ecosystem. Trees don't have smooth, glossy limbs. Their bark is gnarled and speckled, graced by luscious cushions of vibrant green moss. Perfection of any sort is not only impossible, it's unnatural. I am a being of nature, and nature, by nature, is imperfect. Thank you ever so for spending this time with me. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you believe. And I'll see you all next week. Cool beyond. And see